Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is the reason why I made this video. It's because the Blitz community is more toxic than ever. I mean, like, in every battle you have comments like, "You fucking retard, it's all your fault." But some of those comments are on me or on my teammates, and I just don't like those comments. Why? Because no one wants to take responsibility for their actions in the game. So I just love when someone is playing a heavy tank and then just camps all game, and because of him, or even if he is in a light tank, because of those guys, our tank destroyers have to get exposed if we want to desperately win. So don't do that, guys. Just don't follow your role. You're just making people sick. You're fucking morons. That's who you are. Because I don't know if you have some directions, like the game clearly says, the wargaming clearly says that if you are in a heavy tank, you should lose hit points, you should block damage, and if you are in a light tank or medium tank, you should spot, you should circle enemy tanks and destroy them, not just fucking sit in a fucking bush. That's wrong, because your tank destroyers, your players gets exposed too much and they die. And I also oh god, I hate them. I freaking hate those guys that just rush in, like in CDC or Cromwell B, or I don't know, any of good medium tanks, and just die. Boom, you're gone. Why do you do that? Jesus Christ, I just want to tell you guys, don't do that. I know you won't listen, you're toxic trash, but so when those people say, "It's your fault, you didn't rush in," well, man, why didn't you just wait for our heavies to actually build some steel wall that enemy actually can't hit you and can't kill you? So that is the main problem, and the toxicity of the Blitz community itself. So what do I want to say? Wargaming did a pretty good job when they actually installed new setting in the game that only allows your friends to talk with you. Why? Because I always got toxic comments from other people when I actually played very bad. I mean, I deserved some of that, but man, come on, it's just a fucking game. It's not real life. Like, if your stats are more important to you than having fun and like, I don't know. So what do I want to say? It's actually pretty good that they did that, because people are just toxic in this community, more toxic than ever. They just trash talk to the players that make mistake. I mean, we are all humans, I know, we make mistakes, but some of them are, I don't know. My advice is to stay at tier 4 until you have like 2k battles. I mean, you cannot really do that because they actually removed all the tank destroyers and heavy tanks from tier 3, 2 and 1, so you can't actually learn the mechanics good. But stay at tier 4, please. That's how I learned the game. Until the 2k battles, I stayed at the tier 4. I didn't want to not tier 4 but tier 6. I didn't want to move further. Why? Because I knew that I will ruin people's day and that they will actually trash talk about me. So I don't actually want that. And my advice is that you actually go slowly through the game, nation by nation, like make it to the tier 6, then go to the other nation, make it to the tier 6, and so on and so on. Every tank destroyer, every medium tank in the game. It's easy, it's not hard, and by the way, you will learn which country, which nation suits you the best, which gameplay suits you the best. So, if you want to sit in the bush and camp, use tank destroyers. It's easy. You just click and hit. That's it. If you are like a guy with like me that likes real tanks with some real armor like Tiger 2 and E75, go with heavies. Heavies are a bit of the challenge for new players. Why? Because you need to angle correctly. So if you over angle, you will not perform well in them, especially in German nation. Why? Because Germany is a nation with actually pretty much flat heavy tanks. So if you want to begin with heavy tanks, I suggest a Russian line or a Chinese line. They're pretty similar, like Pentaflui said. I'm not copying him, by the way, just saying the approved fact. So start with them if you like heavies. Then if you're not a moron, sorry for insulting all those players that just can't play this game, but I don't know, guys. Answer me in the comments, why do you play this game if you actually don't perform well? I mean, I'm not the best player, look at my stats. I'm 50% player. But I just have to know, guys, why do you play when you have like 33 or 34% win rate in like 40k battles? Why, guys? This game is not for you. Just please, I gotta be honest with you, just quit. You're ruining your day, you're ruining everybody's day. Because people don't like to lose. I don't know, why do you like to lose so much? Sorry for being so honest, but just answer that one simple question. I don't actually mean that you are morons, but come on, pick a different game, easier. World of Tanks has pretty fucked up mechanics. So most OP tanks are on the Russian nation. That's clear because it's Russian game. So just answer me that question. Why, guys? Why, and why? Okay, so let's get back to the toxicity of the players. You know, I can be a toxic trash like everybody else, but I just don't want to do that. Why? Because I know I will just piss off some random people, and actually that's not pretty nice to do. So I like doing things that I like, not that other people likes. So I don't know about you guys, but I just try to enjoy and not to hate, you know, because what is the point of living a life that you will actually hate everyone and just, I don't know, do awful things to another being? Then you can actually enjoy life and enjoy this game if you can play. So this game is pretty easy to learn, but hard to master, of course. So we have some basic, I don't know, classes of the tanks. So we got light tank, medium tank, heavy tank, and tank destroyer, which is basically not a tank, but okay. So light tank, what do you want to do? with them. You want to not like rush in, but my advice is to stay like 200 meters away or 150 meters away from enemy vehicles. Get spotted that easy. When in a light tank, you should always try to circle lone targets like big heavy tanks like ice tanks or tiger tanks. Every tank that has pretty much low maneuverability, so it can't actually turn that quickly as you that has long reload. So this will actually greaten your chances of surviving the battle. Then we have medium tanks that are actually pretty similar to light tanks but have better armor. Some of them have better maneuverability and have more balanced guns. So main difference between light tank guns and medium tank guns is that actually like medium tanks have more balanced penetration. Light tanks usually don't have big penetration. You will always have to use your premium rounds on heavy tanks like IS or Tiger, while in medium tanks not so often. Then I'll take example of T-54 Mod 1 that actually has decent penetration, lower maneuverability, so you're pretty much heavium like T-26E4. So what does that mean? That in these tanks you can actually hold the line pretty much like in IS-6 or IS-5, and you actually have the mobility, pretty much enhanced mobility than heavy tanks. Then you have also greater vision range. So what does that mean? That means that you will be able to outspot an IS-6 or IS-5 while while having the same armor like them, almost the same. That is what you need to know about mediums. Also, mediums have more balanced stats than light tanks. So to finish off the guns, on mediums you will almost every time have like damage of 250, while in light tanks you will have like in lower tiers like 160 to 180, but you will have longer reloads than the light tanks. Then we have heavy tanks. So heavy tank is actually the real tank in the game. So what do you want to do with them? You want to hold the line. You don't have to actually penetrate a lot, you just have to bounce, and you should not ever be afraid to lose some hit points, because that's what heavy tanks should do. Like a mouse, you have the greatest hit point pool in the whole game, so don't be afraid to use it. Don't be afraid to, later in the game you will actually see how little is 600 damage. When you have the mouse, you won't even feel it if of course doesn't hit your ammo rack or crew or any other model, while you do not have repair kit or first aid kit, because this will just get too damn slow, like 9 kilometers per hour if you have damaged engine, or like 5 kilometers per hour if you have damaged engine and injured driver. So it's pretty bad. Heavy tanks have lower maneuverability than than light and mediums, but also, like I said, have greater armor, thicker armor, so we will be able to bounce shots more often. And also, as I said, don't be afraid to lose your hit points. Why? Because if you don't lose your hit points in a heavy, lights will lose their hit points. So my advice, if you are in heavy, just angle yourself correctly, like in a mouse. Just do it like this, so and angle your turret like, I don't know, a little bit to the left, so anything won't be able to come through your armor. Why? Because you have fucking 300 millimeters of armor and more if angled like 400 millimeters, so it will be a difficult task even for Object 268 or Death Star and things like that. But when driving a mouse and you meet a Sheridan, don't angle, don't bother, just try to ignore it, as it will buzz off very easily if it gets hit. Just try to actually focus some other tanks, try to focus with them, with your armor at them, because Sheridan will almost, in this update at least, will almost every time go through with their hit ammunition. So this is pretty much for heavy tanks. So remember, you have to be the steel wall of your team. Just angle correctly and don't camp in them. For God's sake, please don't camp in them. Don't be a moron in your team. Please just don't. Because that's what morons do. They camp in fucking heavy tanks. That's not cool. Even if you have the big gun, don't camp. It will not pay off for you. No. It will not. You will just get destroyed the last and be called out as a noob, and everyone in the team will gangbang your fucking mother because of that. So you have to go forward. There is nothing else you can do. And don't ever go up the steep hills, because your lower plate is the weakest part of your heavy tank, so it will get wrecked. It will just get wrecked. Then we have tank destroyers. This is actually my second favorite type of vehicle. My favorite is a heavy tank, because you can actually laugh when you are driving a mouse and nothing gets through, so you like have 6,000 block damage. Then in a tank destroyer, some of them have pretty good armor, but most of them don't, like Scorpion G or HM, Borsing, WT. They just don't have good armor. So what do you want to do in a tank destroyer? You want to get as far as possible from the enemy, especially in Borsing or Scorpion G, or tanks like that, like Waffle Tractor and Grill. So in those tanks you just want to snipe. Scorpion G is a perfect example of it. So look at it, at its dispersion at 100 meters, 0031 to 0276. No, I messed this up. So it's 0276. So what does that mean? That in every 100 meters, it's, let's say, dispersion will rise by 276 meters. So it's pretty damn accurate. You won't miss much in this thing. They both have good camera rating. That is for the tank destroyer, in my opinion, the most important stuff to have. Good camera rating. Unlike the FV, in which every shot you take you will almost be spotted immediately. So what do you want to do in tank like FV? You want to stay as hell far in the back as you can, so like even 500 meters sometimes isn't enough, because some light is closer than 500 meters, like it's 200 meters away, and it will just spot you. You won't spot him. Just don't bother spotting this tank. You, for fuck's sakes, you are fucking tank destroyer. Don't spot in it. Don't go forward unless you are Jägeru. In Jägeru, go forward. So play it like a heavy tank. In this tank, you just want to get as far as possible away from any enemy vehicle and just load hash AP and hash, mostly hash, because that high explosive type of ammunition you see has 209 to 231 penetration. So what does that mean? So it basically means that it is the most overpowered high explosive round in the game. And look at its damage, 975 to 1600 to 25. So if you play it right and your team isn't just mindless crowd, you will actually do pretty good in this tank. I don't. Look at my stats in it, 44%. And like, this means that in every battle I get one shot with hash, and that's it. Because it basically is. That's it. One medium too close and you're done. You're basically done. Go back to your garage and play something something else that isn't so actually dumb and beautiful at the same time. So you can get some throw bounces in this thing, but just don't try to bounce, because your armor is so weak that it will almost every even high explosive shell from 152 caliber to above will get through. So just don't. So we have a couple of types of tank destroyers, like this one, regular tank destroyer, and like RHM and SU and ISU and Death Star, that are actually heavy tank destroyers. What does that mean? That they have one of the greatest damage ratio in their potential. So it will almost, I don't know, just awesome when you hit someone with hash or high explosive on SU and ISU and they got penned. It's freaking awesome. So my first battle in this thing was phenomenal. I just loved it from the first sight of it. I always wanted it, but only got it about half a year ago, and it's it's actually awesome when you make the shots right. So this is a heavy tank destroyer. What does that mean? Some heavy tank destroyers, it might mean that they have heavy armor, or just that they have big guns. Regular tank destroyers, we have like Charioteer and some other tanks. So they're basically just tank destroyers, nothing else. Like Charioteer. So you have nice gun on it, not actually damage per shot, but excellent damage per minute, and that's actually pretty goddamn good in comparison with this thing. When you fire one shot and then you're out for like 20 seconds, that's not good. Everything can happen in 20 seconds. So if I have to choose between this and FV for W05, I'd probably choose for W05. Why? Because it's triple shot and it's damage per minute. So that's pretty much everything we have time for now, guys. And please remember what I said early in the video. Don't be a fucking moron. Don't, please, no please. I pleased enough. Don't fucking be a moron. Just, if you can't get well with the game, just quit it. Just quit it. Because you make life easier for yourself, less frustration, and that's it. You will make your life much easier, and for other players too. So just quit the game if you're not good enough. I don't know why people still play this game with 39% win rate on 60k battles or 40k battles. I mean, just quit it. You'll feel a lot better. At least you tried. Goodbye, guys. Till the next video.